Good morning, children. I am back with you all with the next question of the exercise that we have already started, exercise 2.4. And in the previous video, I have shown you how to factorize a polynomial by the splitting method. Now, this is another question of the same exercise, but this is also a factorization. But you will see a difference in this polynomial and in the previous factorization polynomials. If you remember in the previous videos, I have factorized those polynomials who are quadratic, but if you will see what is this polynomial, as the highest degree of this polynomial is 3, so this is a cubic polynomial. So factorization of this cubic polynomial will not be in the same way as we have done the factorization of the quadratic. In the quadratic, what we used to do, let me just give you a recap of that. We always used to split the middle term. And how we used to split the middle term? By looking for those two numbers whose addition or subtraction should give you the middle term and whose multiplication should give you the product of the first and the third term. Now, as this polynomial is different, this is a cubic polynomial, so we are not going to split its middle term. What we are going to do, we are going to do this factorization by hit and trial method. Now, what is this hit and trial method? We will first look at the constant term, the last term, constant term, which is 2 here. So, I am going to look for the factors of 2. So, if you will see that the factors of 2, 1, which is a factor of all the numbers. So, plus 1 and minus 1 are the factors of this constant term, and even plus 2 and minus 2 will also be the factor of this constant term. So now among all these 4, I am going to hit and trial which factor or which value of x will make this polynomial 0. Means I am going to put this value 1. First I will try with 1. So if this value 1, by putting it in the value of x, is going to make it 0, so it means this is the 0 of this polynomial. So one factor I will get. So let's try first with 1. If it is going, then it's okay. Then otherwise I am going to try with minus 1. So let's start with first 1. So it will be 1 cube minus 2, 1 square minus, this is 1 plus 2. So 1 cube will give me 1 minus 2, and this is also 1. 2 into 1 will 2 only, minus 1 plus 2. So I can cancel these two with each other as they both are plus and minus, and these can also cancel with each other. So I am getting 0. So what we get from here, that by putting the value of 1 in the given polynomial is making this polynomial 0. It means by this value, when I put x is equals to 1, it is making this polynomial 0. It means I can say that x minus 1 is a factor of the polynomial. Now you will think that why I have made x is equals to 1x, x minus 1. Why? If you remember what we used to do when we used to look for the 0 of the polynomial, if you remember, like suppose we were given x minus 2, to take out the value of x, what we always used to make it as equals to 0. So x comes out to be 2. Same in this case, if I am getting the value of x as 1, which is making the polynomial 0, it means the factor will be x minus 1. So this is one factor which I have got, which is of the given polynomial. Now what we will do, I am going to take this as a divisor, and this is my dividend. I am going to divide these two with the long division method. So let's start. X minus 1 is my divisor. So this is my dividend, x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2. So I am going to divide this, and then I will get the another factor of the given polynomial. So as I have x and I want x cube, so with what I will multiply to get x cube? It's easily clear. I have to multiply with x square, because when I will multiply x with x square, I am going to get x cube. So this will give me x cube, but I have to multiply x square with this minus 1 also. So on multiplication of these two, I will have minus x square. So let's change the sign. This will be minus, this will be plus. So this will cancel as they both are plus and minus. On solving these two, I will have minus x here, and this I will carry forward as it is. Now let's think what will be multiplied with x so that I have minus x here. So I'm going to multiply it with minus x because minus x and x will give me minus x here. So this will have minus x here. Now after multiplying this minus x with minus 1, I will have positive of x because minus minus is plus. So this will be positive of x. Now let's change the sign. This will be plus, this will be minus. So they both are going to get cancelled. So this is minus x and this is also minus x. So minus 2x, and this will be taken here. Now let's think with what I will multiply this x to get minus 2x. X I already have, so I will multiply it with minus 2. So minus 2 into x will give me minus 2x, and let me multiply minus 2 with this minus 1 also, which will give me minus minus plus, so positive 2. So changing the sign, so they all cancel with each other, so I get 0. So it is clear that this is another factor of this polynomial. One is x minus 1 and the other factor I get it after the long division, x square minus x minus 2. But this is not the end, children. If you remember, we have done in our smaller classes what is that factor theorem, what is our division algorithm, that says that we always have to make the dividend is equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So what is my dividend? My dividend is this polynomial, this cubic polynomial. And what is my divisor? This is my divisor with what I have divided, and this is the answer. So this is the question. The number, the value which is left at the bottom is said to be the remainder. So let me take the right side. Divisor will be x minus 1 and quotient will be x square minus x minus 2, and remainder is 0. So one factor I already have. So how to solve this? If you remember, this is which type of polynomial? As it is having the maximum degree 2, so it's a quadratic polynomial, and we know that how to factorize the quadratic polynomial by splitting method. So we are going to reapply the splitting method here. So this I will take it as it is, x minus 1 multiply. Now how to split this middle term? I want such numbers that on addition or subtraction I should have minus 1, and with the multiplication I should get minus 2. So I have to look for those two numbers. Now what I can have is minus 2, one number I will take minus 1 and the other number I will take plus 1, because when I am going to solve these two I will have minus 1, which is minus x, and on the multiplication of these two, minus 2 into 1, I will have minus 2. So this way I am going to split the middle term. It will be written as x square minus 2x, and the other will be plus x, and this will be same. I can ignore this 0 because it is just 0, so it's not important to write it. So let me just give you how I split the middle term. Because I want minus x here, so I split it into two such terms, so that on addition or subtraction I should have minus x. So keeping this thing in the mind, I keep the negative sign in front of the big number, so it's minus 2x and then plus x, and when I will multiply these two terms I will have minus 2x here, which is the other thing which I want on the multiplication of my first and the third term. So let's solve it further. This is x minus 1. So as I have already split my middle term, taking out the common of the first two, I will have x as the common. So inside I will have x minus 2. Here I can take only plus 1 as the common. So x minus 2, bracket close. Now x minus 1 is one factor, and the other factor I will have x minus 2 and x plus 1. So this is how we are going to factorize the cubic polynomials. I hope it is clear, and I will make another video to explain the second part.